This is Stars Ride, Conversations in Motion, sponsored by Zika. So who is our guest? Well, he's a Norwegian middle and long distance runner specialising in a 1500 metre, 3000 metre and 5000 metre. And I'm sure hearing that description, many of you are thinking of the famous Ingebrigtsen brothers. But what if I told you he's 35 years old, renowned for his aggressive racing style, exceptional tactical intelligence, and fierce competitive spirit, plus he's instantly recognisable by his trademark moustache and sporty sunglasses? Then there's no doubt about it. Our legend today is none other than Henrik Ingebrigtsen. For our guests today, I think these are necessary. Henrik, you got the dress code right as well in matching our car. You ready for a ride and a chat in our Zika?
Yeah, sure, let's go.
You're driving.
Perfect.
Henrik, thanks for joining. I can't believe you're matching the car with what you're wearing. That wasn't even planned.
No, it was a coincidence. Yeah, but a nice coincidence.
A nice coincidence. What do you make of the car as well? Orange and black feel to it?
Yeah, I think there's too many black, white and grey cars today. So whenever there's a car with the colours, I'm into it.
Something unique.
Yeah, exactly.
See, you're renowned for having that style and, you know, a bit of razzmatazz about you. Is that something you like kind of grew up with? Is that something that was in you, or was it something that you developed over time?
All my life I've been anything other than anonymous.
Yeah.
Right. So blending into like a group of people or being having the same opinions as everyone else. That's not me.
Yeah,
I'm normally I have my own opinions and style, and I'm outspoken and about all of these things also, right? So and that's I think that helped me in the beginning as a runner also, because you know I needed to do my own thing because there was no one to copy in Norway at that point when I started out.
And how are you different to your siblings? Is there 7 of you?
In total 7, yes.
7?
Yeah.
So how are you? Are you very different compared to the rest of them, or there's some similarities between?
Of course, there's some similarities. We have a lot of similar skills, traits, exactly. But I think I'm probably the pioneer, the entrepreneur. One of us, let's say it that way, because there's you always have to, if you want to accomplish something, you have to take risks, and you have to not be happy being comfortable, right? You have to shake everything up a little bit and be daring, right? Or is that the right word?
No, absolutely. Because you hear that quite a lot in business now, that you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's how you kind of propose yourself in the next level. And a lot of sports stars also talk about that. Was that something? Did that hit you at a certain point in your life, or do you think you just were always that person?
I think I was always that person, but I. Like in school, that probably was a handicap, right? Being that, having that mentality, not fitting into that box,
rule breaker.
Exactly. So I was pushing the limits of what like the rules in school were, right? And the same in sports. When people said to me, "You're supposed to do this and this, and that won't work," it's like, "Are you sure? Why? Have you tried? What happened?" Right? So that was my approach also when I started becoming more into running. It's like, okay, let's try that. But because I came from skiing before I went 100% into running. And that's funny because there's no skiers from our hometown because there's no snow.
Right.
And I even was disruptive in that area as well, because you're not supposed to be a skier from our part of the country because it's impossible.
What was it like growing up in terms of, the competitive sibling rivalry? Because, so often we hear all siblings. I think about what I was like with my sister, and it was competitive in every aspect, not really sport, but you compete for the attention with your parents, and you compete on board games, and everything becomes a competition between you. Was that what it was like in your household as well?
I think we were a little bit different, like the whole bunch of us. So there was some of us who were a little bit more competitive than the others. I was probably in the most competitive end of the spectrum, but that, of course, I think it's like this in every family where you compare yourself with the people around you, not only for competition, but as you want to be like them if they're good at something, right? And I think that my function in that way was a huge factor in Philip and Jakob's success, because I tried to do my best at the stuff I was doing, and then they compared and tried to chase me and my merits. And of course they caught me right at some point, but they were aiming at something. I was just aiming, at whatever. I didn't know what I was chasing. So that was the different mentality in our family. But
did you quickly accept that? Like almost like your role is to, right, I'm gonna push a benchmark, I'm gonna set a benchmark, and I support my brothers. I want them to come and catch me. I want them to do good. Is that what it felt like, or was it any element of I still want to be the number one of the family?
Of course, I want to be number one, but I was a little bit lucky with the timing of it all, because in 2017, Jakob was just a kid, right? And I beat him even with an injury, right? And I hurt my hamstring that season. I just did one race, I think, in Eugene, and then I had to stop my season and do a hamstring surgery. Coming back from that, Jakob had become a different monster, right? And in 2018, the year after, I was trying to keep up, but never reaching Jakob and Philip, right? So that kind of helped me a little bit to deal with that situation, because I had a break and I had to do my rehab and everything, trying to become the runner I once was. But that was my excuse for Jakob passing me, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
But I, in my head, I was trying to beat him. Of course, I aimed to compete with him, and I was competitive, but just behind. But Jakob continued his development and progression. And of course, my success as a runner has nothing to do with Jakob, right? I'm my own runner, and my own performances, they're their own thing, right? So I learned that, or I had like a revelation at some point that, okay, Jakob is irrelevant to my performance. If I'm number 2 in the European Championship and I have a great race, that's great, right? And if I'm beaten by someone, of course I would love for Jakob to beat me, not someone else, right? So I had like this switch a little bit in my mentality that, of course, I'm cheering for Jakob and I want to compete with him and I want to beat him ideally, of course, but my success as a runner has nothing to do with him. I don't have to beat him to be a good runner. And if so, then there's almost no good runners out there.
Of course. Does that mindset then come with maturity and experience?
I think it's just like a pretend maturity type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like a grown-up mentality.
It really does.
But I think it all comes from a competitor's mentality. Yeah, if you're a competitor, you just want to make the best of your situation and whatever you have at that moment, right?
did you know the Wanda Diamond League has partnered with premium electric mobility brand Zeekr Europe as its official mobility partner for the 2026 season? Now, the Wanda Diamond League represents elite performance, and as you know, attention to detail really matters. And Zeekr, well, it helps provide the solutions to ensure these world-class events go as they should do, and also provide an environment for the athletes to perform at the very highest level. Talk to me about the sacrifices that athletes have to make, and specifically like for your circumstances. You know, you competed in a Olympic final, European champion. What did it take to reach those heights, and what sacrifices did you have to make in your life?
I think it's very interesting when people talk about all of their sacrifice and all that stuff. In my head, there's no sacrifice,
Right? Okay.
right? Because I'm setting a goal and I'm doing everything I can to reach that goal. If you're talking about sacrifice, then you don't really want this, right? I didn't sacrifice anything. Of course, I chose to spend my time doing this. I traveled. I spent a lot of my time on this stuff instead of, you know, all my other interests or friends or family or whatever. But I never, and I still never think of it as a sacrifice, because then you're comparing it on a level that this is as important as this. If you're just being honest with yourself about what are your true ambitions, right? Or most important goals, then of course all your choices that brings you closer to that, it can't be a sacrifice, right? So that's my view on it, because I've chosen, I like to say no to a lot of things, right? But in the end, I would choose it again a 1,000 times over.
Yeah, it's interesting that, because you do regularly hear sports people talk about the sacrifices, and I guess as a young
bullshit. It's like who is sacrificing the most? Well, you know, it depends. If you have no interest and you're a boring person, then you're sacrificing nothing, right? If you have no friends, you're sacrificing nothing to become a runner who trains by himself, right? Yeah. But it doesn't matter, right? Does it?
No, that's fair. I mean, I guess it's all about the mindset, right? It's all about what you want to achieve and what your goals are and ambitions are, like you say.
I think it's really funny, but athletes say, "Oh, I'm the one that sacrifices the most of all my." Like, what do you know about that? You're the one yelling, like shouting about all your sacrifice, but all the other people are sacrificing the shouting about the sacrificing also. So then you're not sacrificing the most, right? I think but it's normal to talk about these things, but I think it's
do you know what
misunderstood when it comes to athletes, you know, doing whatever they can. It's about running and becoming the best runner you can without any compromise.
Yeah,
that's the key phrase, like without compromise.
Let's talk about competing. Did you enjoy the competition? Did you enjoy the biggest occasions? Because it always looked like you did.
I loved the competition.
Yeah.
I would compete any day of the week if that was possible, and I would skip the training for a competition any day. If I had the choice, all my career, if I had the choice between training or competing, I would compete, like no doubt.
What was it about competing that you love so much?
It still is where all my work gets, you know, I get to show myself and everyone else what I've made, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how I view it. I try every day to make something out of my training and my shape and building a big performance. It's like I think of it almost like a thing, right? That I made.
The Oslo Bislett Games aims to be the world's most sustainable athletics event while showcasing the city of Oslo's commitment to a more sustainable society. And the meeting actively promotes equality, fairness and inclusion while striving to eliminate discrimination in all of its forms. Respect, sportsmanship and equal opportunities are all core values, not only for athletes but for staff, volunteers, spectators and everyone involved in the events.
It's a place for everyone to achieve their goal. And they might have the same goal, they might have different goals, but it all comes down to that, trying to achieve your goal.
Yeah, no, well said. Right, we're in the car, we're in Oslo. By the way, first of all, very impressed with your driving. Very good. How do you find the drive of the Zeekr?
It's very smooth. And we just had the massage on the seat. It was nice.
I'm a big fan. Fan of the seat massage in here. And look, you mentioned earlier, you know, for social driving, you know, electric cars just feels like the normal way now, especially in Norway, right?
Well, I'm a fan of technology, and of course, this has probably all the technology you can possibly fit in a car. Yeah, and some. But I needed to feel like a car, right? Also, and the acceleration is good. And now we haven't gone. We've just been driving in the city. I would love to take this on, you know, some windy roads and to see how it feels like while driving dynamically, right?
Yeah, stick to the road.
So now driving in slow traffic, you know, I would prefer this over, you know, a sports car.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see how it would handle, you know, some, you know, higher speed, like some corners and maybe a track day.
Yeah, I think we could put some words out to our bosses and make sure it happens. What's next? You still want to compete? You still want to be out there?
I'm chasing just mastering the sport, right? I just want to feel like I belong in a good race. That's all I want. I want to see if I have some good races in me. And then I normally say that I think I have some good races left. If not, I have a lot of bad races.
But you'll still enjoy them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Look, Henrik, thank you so much for being as open, as candid as possible. I didn't expect anything different, quite frankly, from you, but it really was a fascinating conversation. Wish you all the best in future. Congratulations for all your success right now, and thank you for driving so incredibly well, where I feel very safe in our Zeekr.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
That was another episode of Stars Ride, Conversations in Motion, sponsored by Zeekr. Together with athletes, meeting directors and sporting legends, we revealed a story behind the stars, their unforgettable moments and the journeys that shape their careers. Don't forget to stay connected on social media and the Diamond League website for more exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes content. And more importantly, come and join us at a Diamond League meeting in the world to experience the excitement of athletics up close.